When you picture a rogue in Dungeons and Dragons, you probably imagine someone lurking in the shadows, dual daggers glinting, eyes permanently squinted beneath the hood. Their past? Tragic. Their demeanor? Brooding. They don't talk much, and when they do, it's usually to scoff, threaten, or dramatically reveal something cryptic about their tortured childhood. In short, the Edgelord Rogue. Let's talk about it. Now, what I'm about to say, I say with love. I've played this character, you've probably played this character, at the very least, you've sat across the table from this character while they monologue about vengeance and refuse to tell the party their real name until session 27. But here's the problem. For a character type that screams cool, the Edgelord Rogue often ends up being one of the most tragically boring characters at the table. Not because they can't be cool, but because they get trapped in the same tired tropes and never grow past them. So today, let's pull back the cowl and take a hard look at why being the Edgelord Rogue starts strong, burns fast, and so often fizzles out before their story even begins. Let's be honest, it's easy to see why the Edgelord Rogue is appealing. They're stylish, they're dramatic, they've got trauma, they don't need to explain themselves. They're Batman, but with more eyeliner and fewer emotional breakthroughs. Especially for new players, this archetype is an easy way into roleplaying. It comes with a pre-built personality. Dark, mysterious, loner with a tragic past. Add in a cool voice, a couple of snarky one-liners, and a refusal to bond with the party, and you're ready to go. The early gram is great for them. Everyone's curious. They're the mysterious one. Other players ask questions, the DM drops in NPCs who seem to recognize them. There's this anticipation, like something big is always around the corner. But then, nothing changes. And that's where things start to fall apart. The tragedy of the Edgelord Rogue is that they're built from mystery, not momentum. Once the mystery runs out, the character has nothing left to say. The brooding doesn't deepen, the emotional walls don't crack, the trauma never evolves into anything. And worst of all, the Edgelord Rogue keeps doing the one thing that kills momentum in any party-focused game. They stay distant. Because here's the thing, D&D is not a solo game. Your story has to be about connection. It's about how your character changes the people around them, and how they've changed in return. When the rogue refuses to engage, stays emotionally closed off, or never lets their backstory actually affect how they act, they become a narrative dead end, a moody roadblock. It's like watching a show where one character refuses to be part of the show. They're just there, posing, staring off dramatically, offering nothing. The real tragedy isn't just that the Edgelord Rogue becomes boring, it's that they could have been amazing. There's so much untapped potential here. That trauma, it could drive meaningful decisions. That mysterious past, it could catch up with them in unexpected ways. That cold demeanor, it could melt, slowly, painfully, over time, turning the rogue into someone deeply vulnerable, maybe even deeply loyal. That's the good stuff. That's the arc. But a lot of Edgelord rogues never get there, because their players think that changing the character would break the vibe. He wouldn't open up like that, they say, or she doesn't trust anyone, or that's not how they'd react. And, I get it. You want to stay in character. But let me tell you something as clearly as possible. Staying in character is not the same as staying static. Your rogue can still be true to themselves and grow. In fact, they should. That's the entire point of a character arc. If your rogue starts cold, they should warm up. If they start jaded, they should find something to believe in. If they start alone, they should struggle to connect, and maybe even fail a few times. But eventually, they should realize that letting people in is worth it. That's not betraying your character. That's honoring them. Because no one, in fiction or real life, stays the same forever. And if they do, it's not noble. It's not tragic. It's just kind of sad. So how do you play a rogue with bite without falling into the edgelord trap? Start by treating the edginess as a starting point, not a destination. Yes, you can have the trauma. Yes, you can wear all black and refuse to make eye contact. But ask yourself, where does this go? What are you hiding from? What would it take for your rogue to trust someone again? What lines are they willing to cross, and which ones scare them? Let them change. Slowly. Awkwardly. Maybe they try opening up and it goes badly. Maybe they push someone away and regret it. Maybe they bond with one specific party member first. Maybe they never fully open up, but they do make one choice that says, hey, I care about these people. That's all it takes. One small moment of real human growth, and suddenly the Edgelord rogue is a real person, and not just a moody vibe. Also, let them fail. Let them be wrong. Let their edge be a defense mechanism that doesn't always work. Let other characters call them out. Edgy is cool. Vulnerable is better. A rogue that fumbles a persuasion check because they're trying to apologize for the first time? That's gold. That's way more memorable than the I roll to intimidate again. Now, let's be clear. The trope itself isn't bad. It's only bad when it doesn't grow. Take Zuko from Avatar The Last Airbender. Classic edgelord start. Angry, scarred, obsessed with honor, emotionally repressed. But over the course of the show, he grows. He struggles. He fails. He learns who he is beyond his pain. And by the end, he's still Zuko. He's still intense, still a bit of an edgelord, but he's evolved. And that evolution is what makes him one of the most beloved characters in modern storytelling. Your rogue can have that too, but only if they let them change. The edgelord rogue isn't a bad idea, it's just unfinished. It's a character that's all set up and no payoff. In a game like D&D, where everything runs on character connection and growth, that just doesn't fly for long. So if you're thinking of playing an edgelord rogue, great, go for it. Be the knife-flipping, hood-pulling, vengeance-hunting mystery with a 1,000-yard stare. But make sure there's more under the hood than just shadows and angst. Let them change. Let them grow. Let them matter to the story and to the party. Because the real tragedy of the edgelord rogue isn't that they're dark, it's that they're hollow.